The next thing that is like a culture shock for me was basically whatever I knew in Ghana, I had to realize that this is not Ghana. Because there are certain things you can get away with in Ghana. It's not a big deal. But then when you come here, you can't do those things. One time, I needed help from someone, but then where we were, I couldn't talk. It was a very quiet place. I couldn't talk, so I had to get the person's attention. So I was like this, like just to get the person's attention, right? And I think I did that 2 times. Can you imagine the person got so offended? She went to ahead to report me to higher authorities, and I was called for questioning. Like, why would you do that? I said, what did I do? They say, hey, why would you disrespect the person like that? That is not allowed here. I had to explain to them that it wasn't my intention to disrespect the person. Like, this is something very normal where I come from. It's not a big deal. Like, okay, I didn't say that, but I had no idea. It was just me trying to get the person's attention. I couldn't make noise because the place was very a quiet place and all of that. Then they were like, yeah, they know that I am new here. I'm literally fresh off the boat. So that's why they're telling me. But then I need to be careful. So like right now, I don't say I'm working on eggshells, but I don't want to do certain things that I might think is okay in my culture, but then here it's not okay. Do you understand? So when you come here, you realize that you have to do a lot of learning and unlearning. Like go to Rome, do what the Romans do. If you're in America, you do what the Americans do. Don't come and say, oh, in Ghana, in Ghana. Yes, in Ghana, but you're no longer in Ghana. And I had to learn that the hard way. I was just very thankful that it didn't escalate, like it didn't become a huge deal. So I had to go and apologize to the person, tell the person that, oh, it wasn't my intention, blah 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 blah. They were even snapping fingers. Don't even snap fingers at their dogs. So why would I snap my fingers at a human being? I said, huh? I didn't know. Like I didn't know. So yeah.
Culture. Culture is a way of life. Culture is the food, the clothing, the language, the attitude, everything is culture. And so the way we live, our way of life is literally our culture. So being from Africa and especially from Ghana, we live a certain lifestyle, we behave a certain way. We are culturally inclined both in religion and in other ways. And so when we find ourselves in an environment which is different from this kind of environment, this Ghanaian African cultural environment, things also change. Because let's face it, there's the Western environment and then there's the African environment, right? Even when you come to Africa, different African countries, you know, have different cultures. And so if African countries have different African cultures, how much more, a Western or a foreign country, let's say Europe or the American countries. So yes, this video is from Sheila. What's her name? Okay, I'll put her name in the description box. So she's called Sheila Kate. Yes, Sheila Kate Vanderpuye. She is a Ghanaian young lady who has traveled to the US of A to America for educational purposes. And so when she got there, she was shocked to encounter some things. So that's what we are coming to watch and look at here. So I'll be interjecting, once in a while to some of the things. There are some of them I don't think it's a cultural shock because as Africans we learned a lot of things about Europe and America. However, in her case, even though she also might have heard about it, it's different hearing about it and it's different actually experiencing it. So let's listen to her. I've spoken too much.
Very first things that shocked me since I came here was church service in America. Church is completely different. Like you guys don't understand. It's completely different from what I'm used to. Church here is like it's like a business meeting. They come, they talk, we sing. Like there's no praises and worship. Like the praises and worship is just them standing and singing songs. They don't do any giddy giddy dancing. There you go to the stage, you go and roll some assault, and people will be sweaty. They don't do that. It's very calm and very, even the preaching, right? I'll lie to you, there have been a couple of times where I felt attacked by some certain pastors when they're preaching. In my mind I'm like, are you talking about me? Why are you talking about, why are you saying it like that? Is it me? If say it with your chest, is it me? Do you understand? But then Here, church service is very, yeah, guys. I mean, kumbaya, with God. It's very casual. Like, it's very it's very calm. It's not as aggressive as I'm used to. Do you understand? I've been to a couple of churches back in Ghana, right? And it's so giddy, 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 giddy. Like, I didn't think it was that aggressive until I came here and I realized that there's differences is just really insane. Back in Ghana, oh, don't get me started on the offering, right? Offering in Ghana is, if you are born on Monday, come. If you are born on Tuesday, come. Wednesday, people come. Then they'll be like, at the end of the service, they'll be like, oh, this week, Monday, people won. The same time, though, the pastor will be like, okay, if you have 100 Ghana, come. 100 Ghana cities, come. Then from 100, they'll move to 200. From 100, they'll move to 50. From 50, they'll move to 20. 20 to 10. So they'll even go like, if you have any amount of money on you, come. So sometimes, if you don't even, let's be honest, right? There have been times where you don't have money and you kind of feel some way because, like, the pastor is calling people out and you don't have anything to give. Do you understand? Or I'm lying. You understand?
Okay, so let's talk about it. She talked about how different the church services are out up there from here. Obviously, it's something that you should expect. Am I shocked by this? Well, a bit. Um, for church in Africa, even our music, it has a different value, has a different tone. The way we dance to our music, you know, the American songs, if you listen to American songs, they are worship songs, they are soulful songs, songs that touch your heart, songs that you have to listen to. They are worship songs. That one of the reasons why I like American or foreign worship is the way the soulfulness of the worship. The worship is calming, it's down to earth, you can feel it in your soul. And their praises is also different. I mean, look at a song like "A God Like You" by Kirk Franklin. Everybody wanna be like da, 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 da. There's only one God, and then which one else? And then you know that the ones that the American churches, the one that then they are clapping their hands, huh? But then if you come here to Ghana, our praises here is different. Like she was saying, you dance and roll and somersault, everything. The energy. See, you go to church and you come and you are sweaty, like, yes, you want to dance. And we can see sometimes our highlight, the whole highlight of the church was the praises. Well, in Africa, when we do church service, there's a worship service, there's a praise service, there's a preaching service. Now, sometimes all three could go well: the worship service, the praise service, and then the sermon service actually would go perfectly well. That's 100. Sometimes you would have the worship being boring, the praises would be so good, and the preaching or the sermon will also be boring. Or sometimes you can have the worship being good, the praises not too good, the sermon will be good. Or sometimes you could have all the three, like I said earlier. Huh. So for somebody who has been in Ghana and have experienced church service with the dancing and everything and going up there and everybody is calm and cool and collected, I'm like, it's going to be weird. So yeah, I get the shock from this place. And then she made mention of offering. Ghana here, she said that in the US where she is, the church services that she has attended, the offering baskets not even in the auditorium. But I've watched movies where the offering baskets were actually in the auditorium, where the offering baskets were passed along, and I don't know. But where she is, she says that maybe things have evolved from there. Said the offering basket is actually outside, somewhere outside the lobby when you come out of the church. And if you are touched, you can decide to put money in there, which is really different from here. We actually believe in the Bible. The Bible is like our letter. The Bible is our reading book and everything. We follow it to the letter. So the Bible says that do not come into the house of the Lord empty. And so even as kids, when we're going for Sunday schools, our parents will give us money for offering. Sometimes they give us the first one, they tell us that this one is for your offering. They give us another one and say, oh, this one is maybe for your snacks, for Sobula and those things. Sometimes, yes, we even spend all of them on Sobula and come and say we paid off in, even when we did not. But the whole thing was that they taught us from infant stage or from the early stages that we had to give offering. And so when we grew up, it stuck with us. And so anytime we go to church, one of the requirements, whether you are asked or not, is to give offering. And trust me, our churches here would not fail. One of the things they will never fail is to bring an offering basket or offering bowl. That one there, they will bring it. And so it will really be a culture shock to go to that place and realize that there's no offering. Wow. So yeah, let's continue.
What I'm saying, right? But then here, it's not like that. I remember the very first day I came to church here, and I was like, okay, I was waiting for the pastor to go, like, let's move around and come and put offering into the offering bowl. I waited, they didn't see anything. Then they were like, oh, thank you for coming to today's service. Hope you're blessed. Then we left. I said, this is, but you don't give offering. The second week, it was still the same thing. I had to ask someone. The person was like, "Oh yeah, the offering box is outside, so it's at the door outside, like on your way out. So if you feel touched, if you feel blessed, and you want to give, it's more like how you feel. If you feel like you need to give, then you can put something inside. No one is going to force you." I said, "What? You're joking, right? You're joking, right?" Yes. And speaking of, how aggressive, I had a niece. One time she went, I think she was like 3 or something. She went to church, and then someone fell under the anointing, and the person fell on her and broke her leg. And then the funny thing,
Yeah, in Ghana, another thing. Church again is it's okay. So this is how church service are in Ghana. So yes, you see, there are different churches based on the kind of church. There are the Pentecostal churches. We have the Orthodox churches like the Methodist, like the Roman Catholic, the Anglican, and so forth. Then you have the charismatic churches, the newly emerging churches. Now, these three types of churches that I've mentioned, we even have the SGAs and then the Jehovah Witness and all of those. Now, these three main types, the charismatic, the Orthodox, and then the Pentecostals, their church styles are different. If you go to the Pentecostals and the Charismatics, you'd have people casting out demons and so forth from people. And sometimes they'll be praying, and then the anointing will fall on people, and they'll be shaking, and they'll be scattering everywhere. So yes, some of them can fall on you. So she's true, but I mean, looking at what she's describing means that that place, nothing of that sort goes on. I'm sure my mom will say, "This kind of what kind of church is this?" Some of us, our parents, they've lived under this kind of church environment. A calming church is too calm for them.
was that after that they warned the woman. They said, okay, so please, can you make sure that when you are falling, you fall a different way? Do you know, since then the woman hasn't fallen under the anointing again? Since then she hasn't. So I won't lie to you, there have been times I go to church and then someone will come and slap me. Hey, don't slap me. And then it's just you sometimes when you're closing your eyes, like there are people are falling, you have to look like this. I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's just me, but then you understand what I'm saying. Here it's not like that. The next thing that shocked me is the pet culture. I already knew that Americans love pets. They love dogs. They love their dogs and their cats and all of that. I already knew that. And I even thought I was a dog lover at some point until I came here and I realized that the love these people have for their dogs, I can even confidently tell you that some people love their dogs more than they love other human beings. I'm not joking about that. Back in Ghana, right? Our dogs are like guard dogs. They are like afterthoughts. So when you finish eating, you gather the bones and gather all of those things, and then banku shishi, and then you go and give it to the dogs, and the dogs will eat. Right?
She said Banku Shishin. I even forgot that her name is vanderpuye. She's a girl. So yeah, pet. In Africa and in Ghana especially, you know, we how do I say this so that it doesn't sound offensive or some way? We we have a lot on our plates, if I should say so. And so we have our priorities, if I should say so, set straight. So the first priority would be to take care of human beings, make sure that all the needs of the human beings act of the human is taken care of before we can extend any other help to any other people. And so if we have any animal that is with us, then the animal is probably a farm animal that we are raising or rearing for food or for sales or for commercial purposes. When it comes to pets, most of the pets you see people use here are usually dogs and cats. Dogs and cats are the pets. In America, you see people who have snakes, rabbits, crazy. But then, yes, the pets here are just dogs, mostly dogs and cats. Even with cats, I hear that Nigerians don't even have cats. They hate cats as pets, which is strange to me because I'm a Ghanaian. We usually have cats as pets. But even with us who have cats and dogs as pets, those ones, like she said, are afterthoughts. Unless people, people from the affluent home, a little wealthier homes, they treat their pets differently. You see their dogs and their cats, you see that they have more fur, they look nice. They look, you know, DB kind of pets. If you understand, if you're a kind of, understand what DB is, you know, because the fact is that if a broke person or a poor person raises a dog or a cat, that cat will suffer. That cat will not have anything to eat. Those cats or those dogs would have to go and find food for them. They have to fend for themselves. Uh-huh. And so, in order not to put some of these animals in a position where they would fend for themselves or they would look so ugly and lean, and people would say that we don't take good care of them, we actually don't really raise them at all. So you realize that people who raise some of these animals are for pets, are really rich people or wealthy people who do that. But there's one pet that people raise here, and it's for a purpose, which is dogs. Dogs here are raised more often than cats, but then these dogs are for guard. So these dogs are not even like a pet. They are raised as guard dogs. And so usually at night they are left their cages are opened and they are left to roam in the house in the night. And so if you're a thief or you are not a thief but then an unannounced guest and you don't call the owner before coming to the house and you open the door, you are at risk, and the risk is only yours. You cannot blame anybody. The dogs will have you for a meal. Yes, and those ones are just for and for those ones, sometimes they take care of them a bit. uh But even that one cry, there are even levels. There are those ones too that we don't take care of, but then they are still used as guard dogs. And then there are those from the affluent homes who are really fed well and treated well. And so, yeah.
And the dog, you take the dog outside. Here their dogs are like a family, literally family members. Some of them see their dogs as not some of them, all of them see their dogs as kids. So you could ask someone, hey, do you have a kid? Or do you have kids? How many kids do you have? They'll tell you, oh yeah, I have two boys and two dogs.
I can promise you that nobody says that in Ghana. So this is definitely a culture shock. That somebody will ask you, "Oh, do you have kids?" I have two daughters and two dogs. Nobody will say that. Dog is that's definitely a culture shock.
Yep. Some even don't have kids. They don't want to have kids. They just are okay with having their dogs and then their pets, and it's okay. It's fine. It's good for them. When you go to Walmart and these shopping malls and stuff like that, you realize that they have long aisle just for dogs. The canine industry is a very big industry. Like, it's a very big market here in America because they have dog shampoo, dog conditioner, dog dress. They have everything catered for dogs because people will buy. There's a market for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every car that passes by you, there's one dog in it. You'll be walking on. A dog is in front seat looking at you like this. Yes, they some sleep with their dogs. Like, they take their dogs everywhere. They take their dogs to vets. Apparently, if you don't take care of your dog very well, like, you could be arrested or something. I heard something like that. They even pay rent. They pay rent for dogs, not just dogs, like for pets. So if you have a cat, you pay rent. There's a pet rent for, and they pay. You see people have two, three, four dogs, and then they are paying rent for these dogs. They are paying rent for bingo. Bingo.
He says you are paying rent for bingo. Bingo. Ghanaians have an act of generalizing things. There was this American dog movie. called Bingo. And since many of us watched that in the early, is it early 2000s? I've forgotten which year. Yes, so we refer to every dog as Bingo, just as we refer to every toothpaste as Pepsodent. So yes, how can you be renting a house for Bingo? Yes, definitely this will be a culture shock. And then yes, one of the things that this is not too much of a culture shock to me though, but then it's a culture shock. I mean, if you compare Africans, culture of Africa to the Western world, sleeping with dogs, sleeping with dogs, like why? Why? I get it. I get that you love your dogs, but at least have a what's even a house of a dog called? Have a house or just a minute.
I said, huh? God,
Have a house for your dog. Why would you sleep with your dog, sleep with your cat on the same bed? It doesn't really make sense.
is good though. Like some people are chilling. Like some people, I can tell you that there's some animals or some dogs that are living comfortably better than some people I know. I'm not. This is not an insult. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but then that's the next thing that shocked me is the love culture. Like they love different.
Okay, before she talks about love, so comments in the comment section. Write in the comment section what do you think is the difference between the love here and then the love in America. Just before we go in, let me even say my what I know about them. I mean, what based of the movies and the things we have watched before we even listen to what Kate has to say. In Ghana here, when we love, I don't know, we have some this we think differently here. So sometimes when we laugh, cry, we hide the love. So sometimes you see somebody dating somebody and you ask, oh, I get dating, and they would say no. Meanwhile, you can literally see from their actions and behavior that they actually dating or they have something going on. These people would deny. And then in the long run, one would get pregnant or I don't know, something happened, and they will say, oh yeah, we are dating. Like, but I mean, we watch movies and these people really show love. Like they can hold hands in public and kiss in public. Eee. I watched a vlog on YouTube of this Ghanaian girl who moved from to America to study, and she was talking about the fact that in her school, one of her cultural shocks was that she saw students kissing in the lobby, mouth to mouth, like Akbenabu. And she was shocked out of her skin because you can never do that in Ghana. Kissing a lot. PTA meeting will be called. Your mother will be called, and it would be a cold day in hell for you to be kissing like, and it's normal for them. So if they can do it in school, you can imagine what they will be doing outside. So let's listen to what she has to say.
Over here. The way they love here is completely different from what I'm used to. An example, they love out loud here. Like love here is not silent. I've realized that I'm used to silent love, hidden love. But people here, see, you can meet someone today, whether it's a boy or a girl, in the first 2 minutes, they will tell you that they have a wife, they have a husband. And I'm like, did I even ask? No, did I ask? No. Like, you be there like, oh, hi, my name is Sheila. Oh, yeah, Sheila, my wife's name is Sheila. Oh, hi, my name is Sheila. Sheila, oh, my wife's mother's friend is called Sheila. They have to make you know. If they don't tell you that they are married or they have a girlfriend, something will do them. Like in class, we could be talking about maybe rocks, sedimentary rocks. Then someone will be like, oh yes, one time my girlfriend and I we went on a trip and then we saw the rock. So if you don't say that your girlfriend, what will happen? I know I sound like a hater right now. Maybe I'm just hating, but is I was saying something before. I was like, oh, why would you do it? But now like, oh, that's so cute. And every person, right? Every single person, if you look on their phone, 9 out of 10 times they have their partner's picture as their screen. screensaver or screen lock or whatever. Like they don't hide their relationships. And I'm saying I'm used to hidden love because back in Ghana, right, I have friends, right? I have friends for like 10 years and I've never seen their girlfriends. I don't even know if they're in a relationship or not. I've met a couple of guys and then we are talking.
That is true. This one is true. In Ghana, you see two, like I was saying earlier, you see two people who date and you don't even know their girlfriends. Some people uh people don't even post their girlfriend's picture because once you post your girlfriend's picture, you start to see comments like, hey, is that our girl? Is that our wife? Hey, she's beautiful, she's that and that. And some of them sounds genuine. Some of them too are condescending. Some of them are just trying to make fun of you, but then in a very civil or nice way. And so you find people hiding these things. And because of that thing, many people take advantage of that thing. So you see one person dating two people or more than two people, and they don't even know, and the other partners don't know that they are being dated by one person because things are hidden. Nobody will tell you that, oh, that's my girl, that's my girl. Nobody, it's only a few of them.
In time, I even had to ask, like, are you in a relationship? Or is there someone who thinks they're in a relationship with you? Because in Ghana, you can be in a relationship, but you are the only one in that relationship. The person's not there with you.
Mm.
I remember I was talking to this man. I was like, okay, so are you married? Or is anyone married to you? Then this man said, oh, forget about my wife. This is between you and I. What?
Ghana. See, again, the culture in Ghana permits, especially the traditional and then the Muslims culture, the Islamic culture, permits men to marry, to go into multiple marriages. And so you have people with no sense of shame coming up to you, knowing very well that some of them even wear rings and come up to you and still come and, try to vibe you, raise you, get your number or try to date you. And some of them who would want to hide it, who knows that you have some people have rules for not dating YAE. They will date anybody, not but no married people. So they will take the ring, hide it, and come and date you. And if you don't take care, for years you might not even know that they have a family elsewhere. So yes, this one, yeah, it's true.
What? Like, what do you mean? And I love my Ghanaian men, but they are very slippery. Like, they are very slippery. People here, right? They are very loud with their love, so there's no way you get confused. There's no way you can go like, oh, I didn't even know you had a girlfriend, or I didn't know you had a wife. They are very loud about it. Ghanaian men don't even wear rings. They don't even wear rings, and even if they wear, and so you can even ask the Ghanaian man, oh, so are you married? Like, oh, I, I have a wife, but we are in the process of divorcing. Hey, they can lie. But it's okay. That's another topic for another day. But like people here, they are very loud, and it's not even just the women or the men also do it. Like even in class, your lectures, you can come to class and the lecturer will be like, oh, I'm sorry, my wife had a knee surgery. All of them, they will have to tell you, my wife, god damn it. Back in Ghana when I was single, I didn't really care about anything. But here you'll be pressured to be you feel like loving, like you feel like you're in a relationship.
But I get it though. I mean, the way love is there, where everybody is sure. I mean, if a lecturer whom you've not even asked, I mean, in Ghana here, if your lecture is late, you just sit down. You are even happy that the lecture has even come. In that place, they have to apologize for being late, and her excuse, he actually had to tell you that it's because of his wife and blah blah. Here, those who have wives, lecturers who have wives, their lecturers would not even wear a ring so that they will be able to talk to the girls in the lecture hall and get their number. They come and tell their wife what.
Ah, but then yeah. I'm just joking, I'm just being silly, but then they love a lot. Like even when you go on your Instagrams, right, they will post a picture with them and then their partners, and then they'll tag it. So you can't say that you didn't know he was in a relationship or you didn't know she was dating. You will know. They will tell you that they are in a relationship in the first 5 minutes of you meeting them. they'll have to let you know. The next thing that is like a culture
So just again about the love, I have a lot of reservations about Americans, but one of the things I like about them is the way they love. Because growing up in Ghana, you realize that many families, even though they claim they love, blah, blah, they show love differently. You hardly see a family going out and even holding their hands. You see that the father would probably be far ahead, and then the kids, the older one would be behind the father, the second oldest would be behind the first older one, and then the two youngest, or yes, the youngest or the two little ones would be behind with their mother. Their mothers will hold their hands and they will be walking. As if these people are separate people walking. Meanwhile, sometimes because usually on Sundays when they are going to church, because some of them wear the same cloth material to they have the same material on. So you'd actually know, okay, this is one family. Other than that, sometimes you might not know if they are wearing different clothes, but these are actually family. Oh. They are so weird in Ghana here. You hardly find your mother and father kissing. You hardly see them hold their waist. And you know how white people, these foreigners, these Americans can, hold their wife's waist, and their wives will put their hands on their husband's shoulders, then they'll be kissing and making love. It is never done here. It is hardly. Even if it is done, then it is usually in the affluent homes, the estates, those Trasaco, East Legon kind of homes, not in these trenches. So
shock for me was um basically whatever I knew in Ghana, I had to realize that this is not Ghana. Because there's certain things you can get away with in Ghana. It's not a big deal. But then when you come here, you can't do those things. One time, though, I needed help from someone, but then where we were, I couldn't talk. It was a very quiet place. I couldn't talk, so I had to get the person's attention. So I was like this, like just to get the person's attention, right? And I think I did that 2 times. Can you imagine the person got so offended? She went to ahead to report me to higher authorities, and I was called for questioning. Like, why would you do that?
I told you I had reservations about Americans. I think Americans are too sensitive. They are overly sensitive. What is the offense in you being so far and somebody even being polite to say that, oh, I don't want to call your name out loud in a public in auditorium, so I'm giving you a wave, hi, so that you know that I'm looking for you. And you go and report me. There are some of the things I hear happen in America. I'm like, what at all is this people's problem? They are so overly sensitive that it doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know if you talk about body shaming, but sometimes I know Ghanaians body shame a lot. However, sometimes it's not really for a bad reason. But Americans, you cannot say somebody is fat. Like say, hey, you're looking in Ghana, people can look at see you and say, oh, you look, hey, you're becoming big. Oh. Hey, what have you been eating? Tell me so that I'll go and eat some. What they are literally saying is that you have become fatter than you used to be, or you've gained more weight than you used to be. And so if you are somebody who is you if who is happy about that kind of thing, you're good with it. If you're somebody who actually don't like to be somebody who has weight, then you work on it. So sometimes it's more like a way to tell you to bring you back to yourself that hey, you're becoming big. In a nice way. Of course, I know that sometimes it's used for teasing, which is not good, but it's Ghana. We have fun with some of these things. But America, bro, so yes, again, I get it.
Say, what did I do? They say, why would you disrespect a person like that? That is not allowed here. I had to explain to them that it wasn't my intention to disrespect the person. Like, this is something very normal where I come from. It's not a big deal. Like, okay, I didn't say that, but I had to tell them I had no idea. It was just me trying to get the person's attention. I couldn't make noise because the place was very a quiet place and all of that. They were like, yeah, they know that I am new here. I'm literally fresh off the boat. So that's why they're telling me. But then I need to be careful. So like right now, I don't say I'm working on eggshells, but I don't want to do certain things that I might think is okay in my culture, but then here it's not okay. Do you understand? So when you come here, you realize that you have to do a lot of learning and unlearning. Like go to Rome, do what the Romans do. If you're in America, you do what the Americans do. Don't come and say, oh,
To my social studies people, this is what we call resocialization. Resocialization, where you have to relearn everything. So somebody who has grown up, who grew up in Ghana, learns everything that she knows in Ghana, how to relate to people, talk, speak, whatever, clothing and everything in Ghana. Now goes to another country and now have to relearn everything, clothing, food, how to relate to people and everything. I mean, now she knows that waving at people in the midst of crowd is not even a good thing in America. Charlie.
In Ghana, yes, in Ghana, but you're no longer in Ghana. And I had to learn that the hard way. I was just very thankful that it didn't escalate, like it didn't become a huge deal. So I had to go and apologize to the person, tell the person that, oh, it wasn't my intention, blah 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 blah. They were even snapping fingers, don't even snap fingers at their dogs. So why would I snap my fingers at a human being? I said, huh?
Hey,
I
you
didn't
don't
know.
snap fingers at your dog. That's a common thing here. That's how we call our dogs and cats. Bingo. We even do.
Like I didn't know. So yeah, so there's thing like body shaming. I realize that Ghanaians do a lot of body
Ah,
shaming. You'll be there and then someone go like, "Hey, your buttocks has come big." Oh. Me, if you tell me my buttocks has come big, I'll be like, "Thank you." But if you go and tell someone that your buttocks has come big here, the person will think that you're body shaming the person.
as
Yes,
for this one, I know it's a culture shock, but I know of this one. I was saying it earlier. Those places, they are sensitive. Oh. You don't go saying, if you see somebody and he's fat and the fatness is falling, you watch and let the person pass. Call it on boy agbona.
it's like why would you say that? Are you trying to say the person is fat, or why have you lost face like that? Ghanaians just they open their mouth by and they say anything. But you really can't come and do that here because if you do that, especially as a work setting, you're going to put yourself in so much hot soup. So unlearn that thing before you come here. It's not everything you say. If you see someone becoming
So yes, to the Ghanaian people here, if you know you want to travel to America, please, one of the things you have to know is that learn to watch or look at things more and talk less. Observe more and talk less. It's not everything that you have to say. Ghanaians we like to say everything. The moment we see that somebody is doing something which is a little strange, we all come and stand there and watch them, and that kind of classic culture. And then everything you back, everything will buy you, everything we will say. Please, now you know. Don't go there and be saying everything.
so big, just keep quiet. Just go like, oh, I like your dress. If you don't even say anything, just bap, bap, and you go. Don't come and go like, why has your stomach become big? Why's your just everything Ghanaians will ask why? Don't do that. We don't do that over here. I learned that the hard way. Another thing that shocked me is the free culture here. I don't know how to describe it, but then you can get a lot of things for free. You can get a whole lot for free. So if you're going by someone's house and you see that they put something on their backyard or on their front yard, it means you can take it. But we've gotten so many free stuff. You can get microwave, you can get fridge, you can get once you see that they posted something or they put something on their lawn, it's for free. It's for free. You can just take it and go. Yes. When I was like, hey, really? Yeah, here free stuff. Take it and go. Another thing too is that they have this pantry. There's one in school, like there's one in the school, and then there's one for the community where I think places like Walmart and all of these shop rights and okay, we don't have shop right here like Walmart, Hy-Vee, and all of those places. Maybe they are getting new stuff, they want to clear the thing, so they take them to these pantries, and then anyone can just go walk in and then pick stuff. So I can decide not to I can decide not to buy food here. I can get it's like a huge supermarket. You can get fish, potatoes, cake, cheese, milk, whatever it is you can get over there, water, tissue, everything you can get over there. So if you don't have money, you can get food. Problem is that there's not a lot of African food. Like the foods they have there are very white people food, and maybe you won't get if I want yam, palm oil, I won't get all of those. The next thing that shocked